exactly what I've been doing in my life. I am not trying to make it too long, I'm just trying to go through it. It will be interesting, and at the same time, I was thinking we could have some nice nibblies here. When I went to Coles, I saw this one, Arnott's flatbread dippers, olive and feta. Arnott's is a iconic Australian company that mainly do chocolates, but now they seem to be doing this kind of nibblies too. And the other one is the seed crackers, also from Arnott's, and this is gluten-free. Now with this, I'm going to have the Black Swan caramelized French onion dip. Then we have the Nuffin hummus dip. No added preservatives, no nasty plastic. Oh, sounds good. And then we have all in plastic. So it's just my silly humor. All in plastic. The deli stuffed green olives with Danish style feta. Alright. And then a few of the tomatoes, thank you. Loaded. And no nasty plastic forks or spoon, all wood. Okay. Well, here in Australia we have now winter, so you can see me having this hoodie on here and it sort of can become quite cold here. Well, of course, no snow, but so seed crackers, truly something else. An irresistible gluten-free cracker, plant-based and full of seeds for the perfect crunch. Well, that sounds good. What else do they say? Slide finger on the top to unlock a flavor sensation. Alright. Fantastic chocolates. So let's see. This also have baked with care and sprinkled with delicious rosemary, oregano and parsley. Perfect to enjoy on their own. All elevate your grazing board. Oh well. Sounds like my kind of cracker. And then we have this one. Flatbread bread dippers, truly something else. Oven roasted flatbread crisps with mouth-watering texture and ideal shape for dipping. Alright. So I have no idea how this is going to taste. breads. So wow, need to see if I can try them out. Okay, so here we have the no added preservatives and no added plastic. So what is this? Can I open it? It looks good. So this is just sort of in a paper. Oh la 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 la. Oh look guys, this looks good. Okay, I'll just take it off. Okay, let's have a really good. Then we had the other one, caramelized French onion. Now, why I took this one is because of the name. I mean, it kind of sounds so good. This is good. This is so. The olives in all plastic. Let's have a look at you. This one I'm gonna stuff with Danish style feta. Yeah. So it's this. Oh, no kidding. This is going to be good. So, but it would not be complete without having a cup of tea. So, of course, I have my favorite cup, Daddy Pig, and I don't know. Can you see? Today I have here super strong weight loss. How it tastes, or if I'm going to slim down while I'm doing the video. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, today I wanted also to talk about my resume. The other day I found an old resume on my computer, and this is the one that I just almost. I actually used one back in 19. Not, I think it was 2017 when I was looking for a job, and here is one of my employment histories. So, oh boy, I was absolutely filling this to the brim. So could I put in video format the my work experience and the different things I've done, and so let's just start to read from the resume. So, so final certificate of high school completed and passed. Diploma of physiotherapy nursing complete and passed. Certification of registration physical therapy nurse masseur. Finnish National Board of Health. Certificate of elementary Japanese complete and passed. First aid complete and passed. Education, then third upper level school, that was in Helsinki. Finnish military service. Maybe I just put in the dates so it's kind of more interesting. 1969 to 1981, third upper lower level school, like high school in the end. 1983 to 1984, Finnish military, Nylands Brigade Dragsvik, Finland. 85 to 87, Helsinki Swedish Institute of Nursing. October 89 to April 91, Yoshida Institute of Japanese Language. And then November 2012, Certificate 3 in Disability and dual nationality, Finnish Australian. Languages, native Swedish, native Finnish, fluent English. Oh well, well, we can a little bit debate that my English, intermediate level Japanese. Well, my Japanese has kind of becoming more rusty. Tomatoes are nice. These are so yummy, these ones. So, but because I want to explain a little bit what I've been doing, it's kind of good to have a little like a nibble here. Let's try some of the. Let's see if I can. Let's see. So good. Oh, nice. So, my work experiences goes in Finland, Sweden, Japan, and Australia, and it's when I'm thinking back now about the different work I've done, it's many things has been really interesting, really educational, and explain. The 80s and the 90s, it was you didn't have like mobile phones, and you didn't have the internet, so much of the things, the interactions was person to person. So you had to show up and meet a lot of people, and that's the thing I would like to tell about you. Tell to you, I would say, and I it says so much. I would like to tell you, so I need to just break it up. But today, just a little snapshot about the videos that I'm going to make. So 1987 to no, sorry, is the other way around. 1982 to 1987, I was working on my dad's farm, and back at that time, farming was still really heavy and really manual, not like today that you can move a big fertilizer bag easily with the tractor or forklift. But my first job was really to compete with the cat at home, because as we was a farm, of course there are a lot of mice and rats around. So I was having this small mouse traps I put up in the attic, and we was sort of having our own flour, our own rolled oats, and also the mice figure out that this is really tasty. So we need to get in there. So I cashed mice on the attic and in the cellar, and I got 50 pennies per mice. And then when I grow a bit bigger, I got more responsibility, like cutting the lawns. At our farm, we have a lot of lawn around the big house, and if you started really early in the morning, you could cut all the lawn. But that was a solid 8 hours lawn cutting non-stop. And we had one of those that you had to push. I tell you, these tips are fantastic. These stories are getting better, just so hang on. About the being manual work at the farm. We used to get all the fertilizers for the farms, for our farm, in three train loads, and we to the local train station, and we went down with the tractor, and we manually took. That was 30,000 kilos, and we're talking about 50 kilo bags So we're talking about what it was it like 600 bags weighing 50 kilo each. You have to handle. Take it from the wagon, train wagon onto the tractor wagon, drive home, unload, come back. It took my dad, me, and my brother 3 solid days to unload all this fertilizers, and it's the NPK, nitrogen, kalium, phosphor. So when you're seeding in a farm, you need to put down the fertilizer, so it grows better. So, and this was in summer. Boy, like sometimes those plastic bags that was bursting, they burst, and you was sweating, and you got the fertilizer on top of you. It was burning. Then also, then just drive with machines to the fields and back, harvesting and blowing and all kind of things. So you are driving with a slow moving vehicle, and you on narrow roads, and you you have a long line of cars behind you, and you just try to let them pass. And so you get often greeted by a internationally known sign on the roads. But hey, they often forget, like, where did the oats came from that you have in the morning, the cereals. It was probably a farmer that was growing them for you. Let's move on. 1983, 1984. Finnish army. This is so big subject that I'm going to make a separate video for this. Because it's if I started to tell about the army stories here, like this video will never end. I mean, so, but back at that time, I just briefly tell you that the length of the army service for non-officers was 8 months. For officer, it was 11 months. And gradually, the army has just been cutting back the time when you are you sort of are spending the time there, because feeding, clothing, and training an army is unbelievable expensive. I mean, real expensive. And I went to the unit that is in the south, and in the south there, that's where all Swedish speaking Finns like me go. And many of the strongholds, sort of language wise, in Finland is kind of up there in the middle of Finland, and they speak a dialect there that I just had no idea what they were saying, but but I go more into that in detail, and then also my specialty was driving tractor. So because I'm from a farm, I sort of knew how to drive a tractor really well. So that was quite interesting for me, because I came no away from the army base, and I could be in the forest and go here and there. But I will make a special video just about the army, like what happened when I go there, and it could even be a video that I need to cut in two, because if I don't tell these stories, they will just be forgotten in time, and nobody remembers them anymore. Okay, moving on. So, December 85 to March 86, Turvapalvelu Oy. So, this is when I was catching shoplifters, and this was actually one of my real jobs I had, because before that I was just working on the farm. I have a separate video about it, and yeah, going into all the interesting things that happen when I worked there. And now from there, then we are talking about June 86 to March 86. Kyrkslätt järnhandel Storman. This I can explain this. This is a little bit like the in the United States you have like a Home Depot, and you have like a section where you have like cement, gravel. You sort of have different pieces of wood and everything, and so people that was doing things at home, they would then like fixing up something. They were just coming and buying like things there, and I made the receipt, and then they went to pay, and they went home. And because it was sort of a yeah. I was just trying to get something going after the detective job has was finished because the catching shoplifter company went under, bankrupt. So this was the job I got, and me with David the Storman, there was this all kind of interesting characters that was coming there, and some of the characters was coming there. There was coming with their problems too. See, back in my time, it was people were drinking more, but there was one guy that came to work, and he was obviously drunk. He been drinking the night before, and came to work, and in the morning just drink some more. I'm ready for work. One of our jobs also was then to move things with forklift. So this guy that was drunk, he went on a joyride with a forklift. So a forklift, of course, I'll show you it. It sort of have two forks like this. So it was driving around the yard like this, and there was one customer coming with a car. See, they could come with the car and then order whatever they wanted, and then go and pay. So this car, this is the car. Customer come with the car like this, and this guy is running around with the forklift, and then he runs down. He forks the car, and the forklift arms pierce the door into the car, and so if I'm sitting here driving in the car ready to go out, one fork come in front of me and one come back. So it came with such high speed, so we just pierced the doors with the forklift, like if he would have been this much closer back, he would have cut the customer in two pieces. I mean, like this is the customer. Yeah, and of course, and then it's just low skilled workers, and they sort of have a lot of problems. My foreman at the time, he was having a lot of problems too. He was just going through a divorce, and we had we knew that he had a lot of problems, and he was also a part-time farmer, and then one day he didn't come to work, is very unusual. They was calling him up from the Home Depot that where we were working at, and we was having answering machines back then, and couldn't get hold of him, and so there was then one of the guys just decided, hey, I just drive over to where he lives home because there was, he this is we needed him at work, and he goes at home. He's not at home, but then the grain silo at the was working and making noise, so he went into the grain silo, and he find our foreman there. He had taken the shotgun and went into the grain silo, and that was it then. And of course we were all like shocked to the core, and because we sort of spoken joking with him before, but so that was quite yeah. Here in Australia, we have these campaigns about mental health, and the first slogan was like, "Are you okay?" And that was just to tell you, if you see your friend and your friend is not looking doing so well, you need to ask him, "Are you okay?" But now they changed it a little bit, and they said that, like, it's okay to say that you don't feel well. So it's I'm not feeling okay slogans, and it's good. Well, I was moving on, and my next job then was June 86 to January 87. Backman OY, and Backman OY are I don't know if they still are in business, but they was specialized in doing wooden designer goods. So these are goods that example trays, wooden trays that you can add the food on, or then you can see this design chairs that are really nice, like cut perfectly, and you can just sit. This kind of chairs that are designed perfectly, and you sit back and you feel really comfortable. So they were specializing those things, and if it was a job that they kind of paid okay for you, but there was just this one, of course, was a little bit low skilled work. There was a few carpenters there that was really skillful, and I still remember what he told me that has been very valuable for me. and he told me, "You make mistakes when you get tired," and yeah, that's so true. Some of the machines, like when you make designer chair, they are sort of made in plywood, and they're gonna compress together in a big pile, and it's almost like you would have this. These are the chairs that are put together like this, put into a machine that has a blade that is rotating, and it's all automatic, but there was not a lot of safety guards around this meaning that if you get your hand stuck there, you get sucked into this blades that is cutting the chair, and if that would happen, there would basically be nothing left of you. I mean, you would, it's the same thing like if you put a orange in a blender and you put it on, boom, and and the boss that was having the company, there was something seriously wrong with him. Every day he came in, he was screaming. And some of the employee was telling me like, "Hey, listen, this is the deal. The boss is really under the thumb at home. Like wife is ruling everything. Wife is telling me him off, and just I mean, he has no authority at all at home. The only place he has authority was at his company when he came in. So he was just screaming, yeah, I don't know, like even you were busy, and I remember I was having this kind of wooden stoppers hang that when you have a shelf like this, you have this wood underneath that bent. Here go one screw bar, here go one screw, and the way you do it, you had manually doing this 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and when you be doing that for two weeks, you go and say, hey, please, can I get to do something else, because I've been even dreaming of this movement. Yeah, so of course, not like if it was just then something when I was finishing there, no, I didn't miss the place. Some of the people that has been working a longer time, they sort of had fingers missed. They sort of one of my relative back in when was it? Was 1950 was working in a company like this, and unfortunately, it was no one piece of the overall got stuck, and it sucked in the hand, so it cut this much of the hand. But of course that was a traumatic experience, and he was still conscious when the co-workers could dismantle the machine, and they wrapped his arm, and he ran out to meet the ambulance that was coming, and he's waving with the ambulance with one arm, and the other one cut. Hey, it's me. And the ambulance drives past. It's a true story. He's running out after the ambulance. Hey, it's me, like, help me, stop. And some of the ambulance guys look in the mirror. Huh. Hey, I think that's the guy that we are going to pick up, and so yeah, well, back then, you know, he got a plastic hand, like a prothèse, and I met him a few times. And he said that when he's in Helsinki and he goes shopping or something, he never bothers to lock the doors in the car, you know. So why do you do that? Well, I just dismantle my arm like this, and I put the arm on the front seat. you know where the driver's seat. So he put the loose plastic arm here in the front seat, and oh boy, but he I don't know how to explain, but he became a really wise man, like he became sort of like the wise man in the family to go to and ask advice, and you know, once my dad went to ask advice from him, I said, hey, like, hey, my boys are growing up now. My 3 boys are growing up, and they're becoming interested in girls, and I don't know really how to handle it, and you know, like, how should I handle it as a father, you know, like, and his name was Fritjof. So Fritjof said that actually it's quite a good thing, because you see, your sons, they go out and they are meeting girls. That's much better than your boys go out and drink. It's better to be interested in girls than go out and drink alcohol, and also think about this. Your boys are building relationship skills. How you know, relationships, dating, meeting. You know, it's a lot of moving parts here, and there's a lot of things you need to learn. And so my dad said, yeah, that's good, yeah, And my dad just eased off. You know, it was never a problem if we was bringing girls home, and you know, my oldest brother was really good. I mean, like my oldest brother, I think in English you would say master pickup artist in his time. I know, like I was just a kid and was looking like, gee, you know, I remember like he, 2 times he even bought 2 girls home. You know, I was in the lower part of the house and he was sort of the higher part. So I don't know. Maybe they was just looking, listening to music. The story for another time. I sort of got off bit track here, but yeah. But yeah. And then the things that really changed for me then was I got a summer job in Sweden, in Beckomberga hospital, and there I then met people that has traveled. See, we're talking about now like early 80s, and people don't really traveled from Finland. You went to Spain and Europe, but I met people that have been to Thailand, to Malaysia. Wow, how is that? What, like I was listening with the eyes open like saucer. But guys, as usual, I sort of I covered the Finnish section of my resume here, and I was thinking then, make another video to cover the rest, So, but I promise you, the stories are getting better. They see when I went to Sweden, then things really started to happen. And I will tell you all about it in another video. So thanks again, guys. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, just please subscribe, and maybe one day get the channel monetized. And hey, comment what you think about this kind of war talking video. Is it interesting? I will make more. So from Daddy Pig and me, see you on next one. Bye. Hi, this is number 2 of my resume video about things I've done in my life. And today I want to talk about the day that changed my life. I guarantee you, this day changed my life. I have added here a few notes to my resume because I don't have this included. So I don't know how this video will go, but I just tell it how it is. So today I have some chips. Here we have the Smith's original chips, and then we have a new kind of chip, sweet potato, sea salt, and then we have one that is the kettle cooked in avocado oil. I like them both. So I just start with the original one here. original Smiths and the best original gluten-free Aussie potatoes. Alright, should be good. And then also I have a kombucha mango flavor. Yes, what I'm going to tell you, it's I don't have it included in my resume because it's for quite a few years. It was something that was making me quite uneasy. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt that you have been treated wrongly and there is nothing you can do about it? And the decisions that was made was wrong, and you just have to live with it. But that's what I'm going to tell you about. Because I was brought up on a farm, I always liked plants, and even today I like growing things here at home, vegetables, mangoes, whatever. So my goal was to become a greengrocer, a vegetable grower. And if you do that in Finland, as a profession, you need to have a greenhouse, like a glass house that is heated up, and you then have electricity cost, oil cost, everything. And my two older brothers had gone to a specific school here in near where we lived, and there was like the farming side, and then the greengrocer side of the school. So I chose the greengrocer. And this is back in when was it? Just 81, yeah, and 1981, and the I don't know, somehow the school there was a little bit unruly in a way that there was not much discipline from the teachers there. And so there was all kind of things happening in the school. And so so I started to study there, and when I liked the school, and when I learned a lot about the plants, but there was a few teachers there that had their own way of teaching methods, and there was one teacher there that his he was kind of like mean in a way that he would like to make it very difficult for the students. And it was sort of a boarding school that people were living there, and there was then this some of the students there that were thinking like they were the king of the crowd, and they started to bully the new students that came to the school. I got involved in a few fights there in the school that I didn't want it. I really didn't want it, but yeah, it was just, yeah. But anyway, we sorted it out, and I think I had been about 5 or 6 months studying in the school, and then one day there was the teacher that I said was mean to students, but he was also very blunt. And then one day, I don't know why he was doing it, but one day in the class he said, I should not maybe tell you this, but I want to be really frank. And when you're becoming a greengrocer and you get your greenhouse and you started to grow tomatoes and vegetables and flowers around the year, you will have a lot of costs, and the bank will own your business for the first 30 years. So he meant that for the first 30 years of your working life you will make no progress. And if bank wanted, they could demand you to pay all the loans back at once, so they could bankrupt you any day. When I heard that one, my world fell apart. It really fell apart. I started to really think like it's what's the idea for me to do a profession where I have to work extremely hard. I mean, back-breaking hard. And the bank will own my business for the first 30 years. So that means like I start when I'm 20, and when I'm 50, then I will start to make some real financial progress. This was just so big blow for me that I knew that I couldn't continue. So so I called up my mom and I told her what the teacher said, and she said, "Oh, just continue study." But I said, Didn't you hear what I said? For the first 30 years, the bank will own my business. And I didn't want to have a life like that. So I got into argument with my mom too, like, I want to quit this school. And he said, no, just keep on going. At in the end, it all came to a head one day, because I was sitting in my kitchen reading a newspaper, and that mean teacher is coming in into the kitchen and started to lecture me that I'm kind of just giving bad vibes to the school, and I just ignored him, and I was sitting down and he just came up and hit me in the face. I stood up, and when it came to my turn to punch, there was another student there in the that came out from the his room, and because we started to scream there, and if I would have hit the teacher, then I would have been the one that would be attacking, because I couldn't prove that the teacher was attacking me there, and then I just got so angry, so I just stormed into the principal's office. I just ripped out. I just walked past the secretary, I ripped up the door, and just went down, screaming to him that this mean teacher hit me in the face. And to make a long story short, there was an inquiry into this, but the mean teacher was sort of on the board of that inquiry, so it was a bit like, Well, it wasn't that bad, really, and hey, it wasn't that thing. See, if this would happen today, that a teacher hit a student like this, that would be a lawsuit against the school. You know, it was going into the newspapers and everything, but I don't know. Back then, in the 80s, you know, many things was just looked between the fingers. So I packed my bag and I left the school. I worked on my dad's farm and then I joined the army. But why I'm telling this story is because that was actually the best thing that could ever happen. I was probably the only one that quit that school. Here, I want to show you something. I was printing out from the newspaper. Can you see? There's cucumbers and there's electricity. And this is Finnish, from a Finnish newspaper, business newspaper, and it's a Finnish, but I will translate it to English. The increase in electricity of 70,000 euros additional pay, not normal cost of heating a greenhouse, is just the additional pay of 70,000 euros. Was the result that when this was during winter, so what was happening for this greengrocer when 1st of May came, he went bankrupt. And 70,000 euros, you know, that's quite a significant amount of money in US dollars. That's $75,803 additional pay for your electricity. See, in Finland, the way you can heat the greenhouses is with either you have oil heating, or then you have like electricity. And now you can buy the electricity from the electricity market. But sometimes the market is in favor, and sometimes the market is against you. So what happened? You have your steady expenses, but if you get an additional 75,000 US dollar electricity bill that you have to pay, you go bankrupt. So if I would have not quit the school, and if the teacher would have not hit me, and I had that altercation with him, I would probably bankrupt now. Yeah, I would probably lose everything I own. And so, looking back, what was happening, it was a blessing in the sky. It was. See, quite a few times when I've been going back to Finland now, my brother picks me up at the airport and we drive back to my brother and his wife's farm, and we drive past that school, and many times I felt uneasy because I felt that I was not treated well, and it was just injustice. But now I understand that. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you. I was thinking to have the kettle sweet potato too. It smells good. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I was thinking about it now. Like, I was so angry then, and I felt bad for failing my school. I don't like that, but that sort of was one of the things that then decided that I want to go out from Finland and eventually ended up here in Australia. So to backtrack here on the resume here, it's in number one video we stopped at the Bachmann Oy where I was doing the trace, and then we come to January 87 to December 88. Beckomberga sjukhus mental hospital, Stockholm, Sweden. See, after the army, after everything, and the school, and all this kind of like the low-skilled jobs I had, I just wanted to get away from Finland. So at that time, there was this mental hospital in Sweden, Stockholm, that was advertising for orderlies training at the job. You get free accommodation, and you can then just work at the wards. As a summer job, and I was thinking, yeah, well, I want to apply. I want to try and see if I can get this job. Because my family, we speak Swedish, and I've been to Sweden before, and it's very easy for me there. language is the same. Culture pretty much identical, yeah. And what? Yes, I sent in my resume and then they was calling from me. They was calling from Sweden. I wanted to have a telephone interview and they was telling me that they are interested in my resume and it's really interesting and they would like to ask a few questions. I said yeah, go ahead, and they said that they had called up my referees, and one of them was this job that I had in the company that made trays. And when they spoke with my boss, and the boss has just said evil things about me. So they was then asking like, what can I say in my defense? I just tell them that, well, I'm not surprised at all because he's a sadistical person. That he's having no authority at home. He's coming to work and he's just making it difficult for everybody working there. And they then accepted it, and I got the job. I took the ferry from Helsinki to Stockholm, and I started the job. Now, the job at Beckomberga Sjukhus Hospital, that is the largest mental hospital in Stockholm, and it was really infamous because they was not doing at that time, but they sort of had done lobotomy in the past, drilling holes in the head of people, and they was continue to give electric shocks to people, and it was quite active. Still, there is so many fascinating things I would like to tell you about the Beckomberga Hospital. I don't know if you can hear, but the wind is picking up here now, and it's probably start to rain soon. Okay. And but one of the most fascinating things about the Beckomberga Hospital was that there were so many famous people. I mean, famous writers, TV personalities, big businessmen, family members from, pedigree families, like, I mean, it's just royalties, stuff like, wow. There's so many famous people here. Yeah, this is great. But that's and there's a lot of things I would like to talk about that hospital because it's I somewhere in the house I have some old photos that I want to sort of link into the video so you could actually see that, you know, that I can back up the story. These are pictures that I haven't looked for over 30 years at least. Back during my stay there in Beckomberga, then I got exposed to a different thinking, a different mentality. See, the Swedes were they was sort of traveling more. They was traveling more, and especially like long traveling. Like they went to places like Thailand, Indonesia, like India, and that was just for me. That was just like, wow, really. I sort of been traveling a little bit like interrail, like going to going to like Germany, Greece, and like that by myself. See, you can buy it. I don't know if you call it interrail anymore, but back in my time it was. You could buy your ticket, and you could then travel, and you could travel for 1 month, unlimited travel for 1 month in Europe, and there was a lot of backpackers that did that at that time. So I got some friends there that I still have today. But it was this kind of like a new awakening for me that said like, hey, really, tell me about your traveling, tell me about your experiences, and back then it was like you had there was a lot of travelers going from Sweden to Australia. Getting a few odd jobs here and there, and they was just traveling around, and I just got such inspired and think like, wow. Think if I could go to Australia. Think if I could travel and go to places. Wouldn't that be something? what was then happening? My summer job was finished, and I went back to Finland, and I studied then for a qualification. So I got the diploma of physiotherapy in nursing, and that will probably be assistant in nursing, and you are not a nurse, but help the nurse in the work. See, the other thing was also then that with this diploma there was also quite extensive training with massage. So the massage we trained was called Swedish style, and it's you can call it sports massage, but it's with oil, and it's promote the circulation in the body, and so wind is picking up. Yes, so I got that diploma, and I was looking for work. And I couldn't find any work. So I didn't know really what to do. So I was just thinking, maybe I have better luck in Sweden. So I was looking for work as assistant in nursing, and also like a masseur. And I went back to Sweden again, and there was like, I met the old people there at the hospital, the orderlies. One of the chips run away. Yeah, and I was there, and I got the same job back. I stayed at the same dormitory, and met some new friends, and 3 months had passed, and then one of the people I knew there, Swedish girl, called Birgitta, say, hey, let's go to India. And I said, India? But, hey, listen, I just got from Finland, I just got a job here. why should we go to India? No, you see, there's a few places I wanted to see, and I just want to have a travel companion, and that it would be much easier for if we could travel together, but now we're talking about this for a couple of weeks. And then eventually I said yes. Let's go to India. And I had just saved up some money, and of course the Beckenberry Hospital administration was not really happy with us. And what then? But then eventually, eventually they say, hey, if you really want to go, go. But at the time, we were really lucky because there was this unbelievably flexible man there at the human resources that if you call him and say, hey, can I be 2 weeks no longer on holiday? No problem, take it. So, and it was just and that was the second thing that really changed my life. Traveling to India. I had experiences like being in Europe and like that, but India was totally different. I would like to make a video just about this one because I maybe have some pictures somewhere. I think it was January or February. We was flying from Stockholm, Sweden to New Delhi, India. But to make the decision to fly from Sweden to India just for a holiday wasn't that easy either, because I didn't really like the idea to because I think it's I finally can get my career going here. And now my friend wants me to fly to India with her. was actually one day, I think I had a day off from work and I've been to Stockholm. See, the mental hospital was about half an hour with the subway train from Stockholm, like up. I think it was up north, and came to the station, went out, and I was walking here this way, and I still remember it really vividly. It was snowing. It was the weather was quite slippery, and then I am just walking. I thought I had to walk next to the road, on the side of the road. On the pedestrian crossing, and when it was dark, and then suddenly I hear a car. Cars was driving on the road. So if this was me, and this is the car is coming. Whoa. It was like 4 or 5 meters in front of me, going with high speed out in the snow, and it was one of those big Volvos 244. I don't know if you have ever seen those, but this was like big, bulky cars, and they are they are quite heavy, and I'm just stunned. I just think what's happening. I'm walking home, and this car came from my back and almost hit me. If I would have been 4 or 5 meters in the front, the car would have hit me in my back straight away, and the car would have run over me. I would probably be killed. And I am walking closer to the car, and there is this driver that frantically trying to reverse out from the snow. Like he came a real high speed, and it looks. I'm looking at him, and he kind of like wiggling like this, and it looks like he's panicking and he's drunk, and he managed to get the car out, reverse out, and then he speed away like this. The car is just going like that, and I'm still standing there, and I was standing there for a while, and I think, yeah, well, if you have to go, you have to go. But this was a really close shave for me. Like, think I could have been killed here, and but then I think maybe going to India is not so bad idea then. And the next day when I see Birgitta, I'm telling her, guess what? I'm coming with you. When are we flying to India? future would I never hit me in Finland, and if that car would never just drive straight out of the road in front of me. No, I would have never gone to India, and India changed my life. I'm telling you, this story is just getting better. If you think this was any good, wait until I get into my traveling stories. But I think I need to kind of cut back the video here. I just wanted to a little bit cover the important couple of things that shaped my life and the decisions and why I'm living here in Australia now and yeah. And today we had first was the Smith one, and this is a really nice chips, original. The second one is this is why my favorite sweet potato chips. And then same company made the one called Kettle Sea Salt and Lemon. So guys, in my next I sort of covered my my resume here, somehow my work experience, and but it goes on. There's more to come. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. Hey, comment. Let me know if you like videos like this, where I'm telling stories, and these are true stories. These are actually happened, and they are just getting better. Do you want to hear these ones? Just let me know. Anyway, thanks again. Keep well. All the best, and see you next video. See you. Bye. This is the part 3 of my resume, and I have a little helper here that is helping me, and so the last one was I was in Sweden, and I was going to fly to India with this Swedish called Birgitta, and I got to talk about how I then ended up in Australia. Okay, it's okay. What we're gonna eat today is we have this picklelicious pickles, dried pickles, and then we have the cauliflower pops. We put that here. Sorry, I put on top of your tail, Trixie. And then the other one, spinach chickpea chips. Last but not least, we have this crispy beetroot slices, lightly cooked and seasoned. Trixie, baby. Trixie, maybe not show everything for the camera, okay? Kisha. And what we're going to drink today is the kombucha. Yeah. Oh, this is nice. I never tried these ones before. Pickle delicious, and it's a pickle flavored cucumber, crunch and ready to eat. Look at this, guys. Okay, let's see how they taste. Actually, really good. My little helper left the room, so I think I can continue with the resume. Yeah. So I finished with the bacon barrier Shogu's work, and now I started to travel, and things really started to happen when I started to travel. I mean, I sort of was in a state that I wanted to get started, wanted to establish myself, find something to do or career, and now finding myself flying to India. I think it was January or February 1987. So, long time ago. And back, I remember when we left Sweden, it was snow on the ground, and I had long johns on, like long underwear, and we were approaching India, Delhi, and I was thinking maybe I should change my underpants to short underpants because it's so hot. Now, if I go into too much details, my resume will become like a 10 video long series. So I will just go a bit quicker through it, so you can then get an idea, and I will then go more in details into each section, because I mean, so many interesting things have started to happen. After 2 weeks in India, I got diarrhea, and it was the world's biggest diarrhea. I just was sick, and Birgitta and I, we was traveling together, we were not like boy and girlfriend, but we was traveling and so Birgitta got bored and went out in Delhi to walk around while I was recovering in the youth hostel, and I was recovering for about 4 days. And she comes back and say, "Hey, let me introduce. This is Sam, my new friend." Sam was a man from Nigeria that had been living in Delhi for, I think, 9 years. And Birgitta said, "Thomas, we have plans for you." I said, "Okay, what's that?" "We are going to put you on a train. So we're going to travel together." "No, only you. Because I'm traveling with Sam now, and you can have your own holiday." What? Yeah, she dumped me. And they put me on a train, and I was traveling to Agra. And then Agra, and then Varanasi. And in Varanasi you have the Holy River. And you see this finger, it's the only holy part in my body because it had been swimming in the Ganga River, Ganges River. The traveling by myself was quite hard in India, and I think I went up then to a place called Sunauli. And Sunauli is where you can walk over to Nepal, and I applied for and I think when you walked over the border you got a stamp in a passport, and you could then travel to in Nepal. So I just walked over the border. I think I paid some money, and then I was in Nepal, and instantly I felt so much more relaxed. Delhi and India and all that thing was quite intense, and being by yourself and traveling, it's not that easy. But I had a fantastic time in Nepal. I think I was in Pokhara and Kathmandu, and I also went on one of those trekking in the mountains. I will tell you more about that in another video. I am trying to find some pictures that I can add to the story. And yes, Nepal was good. I felt so relaxed there, and I met some backpackers and we started to travel, and went to different places and yeah, it was. I have pictures and I will show it to you. And at that time I had a diary that I filled in, where I have like more in details, and I would like to really make a video about this because back then the only way to communicate was through a phone, not phone like this. I mean like this rotary phone. Phone calls was expensive. They was real expensive. I mean, it's cost a lot. Like, if I call back to Finland, I could speak for 3 minutes, and that's it. Cut. and it cost me quite a lot. And I will go into details. I promise you it will be a good video. And then what happened? By talking to other backpackers, they said that way Thailand is a good place to go. So I had saved up some money and I could fly to Thailand. And how I got around was by following a travel guide called Lonely Planet. And it was the Southeast Asia version, like India, Nepal, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, and it was just. But see, that time also, the way you traveled, not like you didn't have a credit card, so you had traveler's checks. Next one, cauliflower puffs, made with real cauliflower, contains whole grain, gluten-free, sea salt, oven-baked snacks. Sounds good. Okay, let's go. So guys, they look like this. So what you did there? You had the traveler's checks, and you could go and change money at money changers. They're pretty good, this one. And I always carried a money belt on me day and night. And in the money belt I had my passport, and then I had my traveler's checks and cash. Well, back in 19, I think we were now in. We are beginning of 1988, and things are moving. I don't know. I'm in Bangkok, and you know, how we make a different video about this one, but. What was so good was the Finnish mark at that time from Finland was really strong, very strong. And let me see now what happened in Thailand. I stayed in Bangkok for a while, but they a big city, and you can easily spend a lot of money there. So I traveled up north. I went to places called Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, and then I went on a trek like there was I was traveling with some backpackers, and we had I hired a guide, and he take us deep into the jungle, and we went to the poppy field and then we went to another poppy field that the government had burnt down, and I will tell you more in another video because it's fascinating. It's really like. I'm not sure how long I was in Thailand. Maybe 1 or 2 months. I went up in the north and then south. And then I took from Thailand to Malaysia, and I came to Malacca. And at Malacca I met an Aussie called Graham, and he said, if you ever come to Australia, call me up. We catch up, and he lived in Perth. I love to travel in Malaysia. I was traveling with a few backpackers, and it was just unbelievable traveling. Like we could find these small places that had cheap food. I mean, for $1 or $2, you could eat as much as you want. And I like Malaysia. Was orderly. It was much more clean, and the food was just incredibly good. I mean, really, really good. But there was one thing I couldn't eat, and I can't eat still today, and that's durian. Yeah, people say it's the king of the fruit, but for me, it's like yeah, some people like it, some people don't, and I definitely, have difficulty to eat durian. But all the other fruits, rambutan and the mangoes and the curries, and that's all fine. And what happened then? was in Malaysia, yeah, and this is good. I liked it. In yeah, yeah. Then after Malaysia, I went to Indonesia. And Indonesia was even cheaper than Nepal and Thailand. Very, very cheap. And I met a traveler that was different from the other travelers. He was quite old, and he was like old compared to me, and he was maybe in his 70s, and he was kind of staying at the same backpackers place that I was, and then one day we started to talk, and then I asked him, "Are you here on a holiday?" I said, "No, I'm living here." "Do you live in Indonesia?" And he said that he had a situation that he had a very low patient. No. He had a situation that his pension was really low. And what was then happening? He said that if he would have been living in London, he would basically be starving. Like his money was just not enough to be living in the UK, and but when he was staying here in Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, especially Indonesia, when he converted the pounds into Indonesian rupiah, he was basically a millionaire. and he said that, yeah, this is how I can survive. I have a really good life here. I get my pension sent to a bank. And the bank have different branches. I go to a branch with my passport, take out my money, change to the local currency, and then I travel for 3 or 4 months, and I do it again. And isn't that amazing? He can travel around and he can live like this. Well, next one, I was thinking spinach chickpea chips made with Australian mung beans, chickpeas, and maize. Gluten-free, source of fiber, dairy-free. Alright, looks like this. This is definitely a little bit more crispier, this one. yes, I started to travel down to Indonesia, and I met a few backpackers here and there. We had a great time. When you were traveling, you sort of stayed at some youth hostels or like a lodgement, like cheap places, and you ate in cheap restaurants, and back then we had the cassette tapes, and they at these places they used to play this top 10 Western music, like I'm going really way back now, like Donna Summers, Tina Turner, Brian Adams, Earth, Wind and Fire, Uriah Heep, Black Sabbath, and like bands that you have hear the music before, and then when you're listening to it, you kind of just kind of relive the old memories when you went to a disco. Yeah. This is the time when you had a disco. Then I ended up eventually in Indonesia, went to Bali. The highest building in Bali in 1988 was 3 stories high. I went to Bali back a few years ago, and it had been 30 years since I'd been there last time, and I couldn't. You still had the beaches like Kuta Beach and those beaches, but there was just high-rise buildings and shopping malls, and it was just amazing, the progress and so much money they're putting in, and the airport too. Well, it was yeah, Bali was interesting. I met more backpackers in Bali, and they was all heading to Australia. And when I had see, I had a bit money. The money is saved up, so I could travel. And after a big time, a Swedish girl dumped me in India, and I started to travel by myself. I sort of found a new kind of confidence that I hadn't had before, that I could actually go out in the world and I could see a few places. And back then, the 80s, it was quite a different from today. Like you didn't have those kind of, you know, bombing terrorist things, and you didn't have like AIDS or SARS or COVID, and so it was. I guess it was a little bit easier in a way that way to travel, but when you went to a new place and then you looked up for a place to stay, you were not sure if they was having any rooms, and if you wanted to book a flight, to reconfirm your flight, you couldn't do it over the telephone. You had to go to a travel agent, sit down and say, I would like to reconfirm my flight. And then you got going. Oh, these are good. These are good, yeah. So on my way to Australia, then I actually had two goals. I never told this to anybody, and it's actually when I kind of think back to my goals that I had then, it's a bit embarrassing, but my two goals I had was to get an Australian girlfriend and a good job. Seen Finland like me. I don't know why the girls just didn't pay much attention to me. But you know, here in Asia, I got a lot of attention. Like I like to walk into a big market, like food markets and like that, and look at food and see if I can buy a fruit of some sort, and like, and they was then saying handsome, and I was thinking, who handsome? Who's this handsome here? And then I asked another backpacker, hey, I go into the markets and they call me handsome, and he said, hey, that's the BS. They are calling me handsome too, so we were two handsome guys there. The flight from Bali to Australia, the price was the same for flying to Darwin and to Perth. So I was thinking, yeah, I'll just fly to Perth. And in Perth I knew this guy Graham, and he was the guy that I met there in Indonesia. So we met up in Perth and he said, hey, why don't you come and stay over at my place? And from there then I get to know a few people to introduce them. And then I went to that faithful New Year's Eve party. I think it was 1989. And I went into the kitchen in the party, and then there was a girl there. I smiled and she smiled. And I guess the lightning from the sky strike down and boom. Goal number 1 achieved. Girlfriend. Of course, I met a few girls when I was traveling, but never a girlfriend. And I heard so many good things about these Aussie girls. And yeah, she was a nurse, and she was gonna living here in Perth. And I go more in details later, but I stayed here, and I think the visa then was, the traveling visa was 6 months long. And I was looking for jobs. And I was thinking, hey, well, I'm a masseur, so maybe I can do massage well. Very quickly I learned the way I think about massage in Finland, and the way it's generally thought of here in Australia is basically 2 different things. If you know what I mean. I could borrow a table and massage table, and I put in an ad in the local paper. Finnish massage. Was it 1 hour, $20? Like the value. $20 was like the going rate for massage then. And I get this. I still remember it. I got this Asian guy that was real excited on the phone. I tried Swedish massage before, and it's really good, really good, yeah. And I said, oh, don't worry, Finnish massage is much better. And he then just came over. I just had a room there at Graham's place, and we organized it. So the first thing the guy is doing is he's throwing all his clothes off. And I said, okay, no problem. So we then just lays down on his stomach, and I started to, Swedish style with all, straightforward, nothing shady, just pure, honest massage, but this client was gonna behaving a bit differently, and he had kind of other plans for the massage. But we stuck to my plan. So yeah, that was a lesson. That's yeah. This is interesting. Like so, I would not do massage. Yeah. Crispy beetroot slice, lightly cooked and seasoned. This should be good. I never had these before. Yeah, so I started to look at work, and the only job I found was this ad in the newspaper that when I called up, there was the guy that spoke incredible fast, and he said, Alan, and I think man, just he's speaking so fast, and I look for the work and this and that, and I got a job to put leaflets out in the letterbox, pamphlet delivery, but then one day I got a bit late and it got dark and I got lost. Lost in one of the suburbs, close to where I live at Graham's place. So not that one, but that ad was still in the paper always. So then one day I said, okay, I go. So I was having I took my resume with me for the interview, and the guy had spoken really fast, but I got Pamelia Hilton Hotel 7:30 Alan. I mean this guy he was speaking as fast as a machine gun. And I went to Parmelia Hilton Hotel, and it was a meeting, and they was playing loud rock and roll music there. There was people running around with buttons, and they were happy, and I was singing, "What's this? What in the earth is this? This is," and I came up to, and I found Alan, and Alan also had one of these buttons on him, and I asked him. I said, "I'm Thomas. I came for the job." I said, "Okay, good. We start the meeting. Sit down here." And there's this meeting happening. There's people walking up on the stage, and down the stage and, and, and I'm such and such. I lost weight, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 50 pounds, and everybody clapped. Saying that this is strange. This is really strange. And then they came up and said, I am such and such. I work part time and I made $2,000 last month. 2,000 last month. I mean, that's a lot of money. And, I was very confused. I'm sitting there, and then there's quite a lot of people in the meeting room, and next to me there was a girl from Denmark, like a backpacker, and I still remember what I asked her. What do you think about this? And she was, could we say, a little bit round in the edges, like a, and she said, yeah, it could work. And I was thinking, my God, it could work. And I was starting to think about my mom that is fat. Maybe she could use the product. And yeah, so I just walked out from the place and I said, I am never going to sell pills and powders to my friends. And then a couple of weeks ago, when I found no job. And then I just said, okay, to get started, you need to buy this box with pills and powders. I go and buy the box, and it cost, I think, $50 then. And I ring up the number, I get the place, and I actually, it's a young girl, and her name was Crystal Bouquet. That young girl had just joined Herbalife. Yep, company name Herbalife. And that's how I got involved. She was sort of from down south here in Perth, from Bunbury, and she was very enthusiastic, and she became my sponsor, like the person that introduced me to the company, and it was a company called, it was a multi-level marketing company. I never done anything, I never seen anything, I didn't even know this existed. So I was thinking, well, this is maybe the things you do when you come to Australia. You buy one box with these pills and powders, and but then they had the training about how to use the product. So I was not thinking much about it, And then then one day I was sleeping really well. I slept real well, and I started to continue to sleep well. I was thinking, what is it? Oh, it's this product. I have more energy. And then this button, so I put the button on. And then Graham had moved house, and I came. Then one day, one of his friends came over, and I come out and say hello, and I had my button on, as he said. There was a couple, nice couple came to visit Graham, and the lady said, "Is that Herbalife?" I said, "Yeah. Can I buy a bottle?" "What? Yeah. Do you have the thing called Don Quai? It's sort of a herb that is very good for women. It makes you relaxed and feel good, and I made a sale. And this is where things really started to happen for me. I didn't have any product, so I called up my sponsor and said, Alan, guess what? I said, "What, Thomas? What?" And Alan was really struggling. He was Crystal's sponsor, so part of my so-called upline. And I said, Alan. And, Alan had just come through bankruptcy, and he lost his farm as a farmer, and he was really struggling. He has two kids, private school and many expenses. And said, guess what? I made a sale. And when I could hear Alan's voice, yeah, Thomas, what did you sell? What did you sell? I said, 1 bottle of Don Quai. And Alan's reply to me was, "Great, keep it up and you get rich." Nobody in my whole life has told me that I could get rich. Nobody had really believed in me. And back then, I had so many problems in Finland, and I was on the other side of the world, and I have somebody that telling me that I will get rich, positive, and it's just, I tell you, my lights came on at that moment and they never gone off. And it was just incredible. I got my pennies together. I rushed over to Alan's office. I got 1 bottle. I rushed back, and I had to give a receipt to the customer. And I didn't even know how to write the receipt, so the customer wrote the receipt for me. started to go to trainings. I this was the first time I ever been exposed to things or thing called personal development. And this is really significant because at that time there was one, could we call him business philosopher, really personal mentor, motivator. Tony Robbins' mentor Jim Rohn was working for Herbalife. And I'm listening to the tapes and I'm listening and things are stakes are high, you know. I just found a nice girl that became a girlfriend. I find a job or business opportunity. Really, it's not a job, a business opportunity through Herbalife. And my tourist visa is running out. What do I do? At that time, there was one. See, Herbalife was really small then. It was only doing like, was it $58 million worldwide when I joined. But it was on a way up because there was opening new markets all the time. I guess I was just lucky, but at the same time there was a new market opening called Japan. See, when I was 16 years old, I did judo, and one of our neighbors had been in Japan in 1970s, and with the Nokia company, and selling the Nokia phone there. So here I was. I had to make a decision. I mean, I had to leave Australia, and back then there was this. Herbalife had these 2 tapes called millionaire tapes, and they basically told you how to become a millionaire. It's a lot about your attitude, and they were saying, I still remember I was listening to them 2 days straight. I was laying in my bed and I was really thinking, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? And then the tape said that hardest part is to make the decision. After that it becomes easy. So I made up a master plan. I was going to fly to Japan for 3 months, build a herbal business, and then come back. And oh boy. Now I could easily make 10 videos about Japan. Easy. And I will make a video series, but what I will do is I will cut my resume video right here now, and then I will add more more videos, because I have pictures and I had everything. But I just covered like how I from Finland went to Sweden, and then to Sweden to India, Nepal, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, came to Perth, Australia, got a girlfriend and a business opportunity. And if you think my videos has been interesting, it's nothing compared until when I get telling you about the Japan, because I'm gonna tell you 1988 Japan was wild. It was very rich, money everywhere, and I'm going to get all into it. Somewhat of the things I will tell you, you will not believe. You will not believe me. But I will back it up with photos. But today I was just wanted to finish the resume video here, and today we had pickles that are really nice and crispy, cauliflower pops, sauerkraut, then we had spinach chickpea chips, and also the beetroot. So all of this was good. So thanks you again for the support. Hey, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, because I will make you promise my videos are going to get more interesting when I get into my story, like Japan, Australia, all the crazy things that happen in the late 80s, early 90s. Please comment. Thanks again. Keep well. See you next one. Bye.